What's going on, guys? Hope you all are having a wonderful week. Happy Wednesday. And I know everyone's been at home for these past couple months, but it definitely is official summer break. So if you're able to go outside please do. The weather has been pretty forgiving, pretty good for most of May, except for today, although it's raining. But I hope you guys are all doing well. What I wanted to talk about real quick is something I feel that as believers we kind of tend not to fully understand the grasp of, and it's something I want to continue to dive in deeper myself, and that's the fear of the Lord. A lot of times we hear about fear of God, and we might think maybe it's a type of reverence or respect when we hear that word, like you respect someone highly. We see this in the Bible where it says like David had a fear of the Lord, or individuals said they had that fear of God. And then we see it says a fear of the Lord leads to all wisdom. So we look at this word fear and we kind of have broken it down into two different ways when it comes to the Lord. And one of them is definitely that that reverence, that awe-inspiring respect you have for someone. And then the other fear is the way that we hear it, something that is potentially dangerous and frightening, that could stomp anything out at any notice. And we do see that, we see when Jesus, he calmed the waves, the disciples, they were terrified. They're like, who is this man that even the winds and the wave, they respect him? And so you can see it's kind of a combination of both. The Lord even says, don't even fear the ones that can destroy their bodies, but the one who can do both, the spirit and the body. But when we really understand what it means to fear the Lord, it does lead to his wisdom. Recently, I was just watching this video of this guy who lives in Africa, and he pretty much goes around and he helps young lions. He raises them and grow up and releases them out into the wild, and you can call him like a lion whisperer. And just watching this video, this lion comes up to this guy, and the man is standing up, and the lion pretty much comes up to his chest. And so when it jumps up on its hind legs, it pretty much completely surrounds the guy. Yet it's not attacking him or hurting him or anything like that. But at any notice, this man, his life is in complete danger. But he has a righteous fear for these creatures. He's not harassing it, provoking it. As a matter of fact, he's welcoming it with open arms. And I'm not saying that the Lord is the same with the lion, but if you look at it in a similar way, there's so much reverence and fear that we have with the Lord. When you respect him, when you have that fear towards him, you want to do things that are righteous in his sight. That's where we can see it leading to that wisdom, what that really means. That when you do have that righteous fear, you're not going to do something that would, displease the Lord, displease your Father. Look at your parents, the same way. Sometimes they discipline us and we get terrified of that. But another fear we have for them is complete respect. And so we look and see like how this is lived out, how we can live it out as believers. We hear it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And we live that out in our lives. We contemplate, Lord, I respect you. So how am I going to orchestrate my day because of you? Will I do it something that is in your right wisdom, Lord? Or will I do something on my own volition? And I think sometimes I know myself, that fear can get washed away because that respect kind of leaves because either I'm not trusting enough or I try to trust things in my own regard. But it's so significant for us to learn what it really means to trust the Lord, have this righteous fear, this fear that does lead to wisdom. Wisdom is knowing what to do is right within his sight. Going to look and see how David continued to talk to the Lord. He had a righteous fear of the Lord. Same with Moses, a lot of these people. And because of this, they chose to do the things that were pleasing for the Lord. They consulted with him because they had so much respect for God. They had so much awe for his mighty hand, how big and how powerful he is, and yet how intimate he was. That they respected him in everything they did, and they chose to continue to follow him. And so that's what I want to encourage us today. For us, as we just continue to learn what it means to fear the Lord, it does lead to wisdom. We will then pursue things that we know that is wise. Like I was mentioning with the lions, this guy's not going to, kick the lion in the face. That's going to lead to a horrible repercussion. In the same way it is with the Lord, when we disobey and we go into our sins, something similar. It's not living realize that fear is no longer there. So I just kind of want to challenge you guys with this week, and throughout the next couple weeks coming up, to really dive into what it really means to have a fear of the Lord. So I just want to take that time, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and we'll